Here are the 5 biggest money mistakes that you can make in your teens. Number 1, and that is going broke trying to look rich. I'm sure we all have that one friend who comes to brunch in his brand new Dior puffer jacket, but he can't pay for brunch and he says that he'll Venmo you later, but later never comes. Somebody like that is the perfect definition of going broke trying to look rich. Now, keep in mind, I'm not one to be frugal. I spend my money. The majority of times, I spend it responsibly, but I also buy things that hold value. Take watches, for example. When I say watches, I'm not talking about my new iced out AP. I'm talking about timepieces that will last you a lifetime. Things that will hold value and only appreciate. There's a big stigma around iced out watches, and let me explain it. When you take a timepiece like an AP Royal Oak and you want to shove it with diamonds, you give it to a jeweler who then drills holes into the watch to put the diamonds in. Drilling holes into the watch therefore decreases the value. And you may think to yourself, don't the diamonds compensate for the lost value? And the simple answer is no. An amazing timepiece that was originally meant to be passed down from generation to generation is now a status symbol so you can flex on Instagram. You may think, oh, but the diamonds are cool and it's still worth a lot of money. The majority of jewelers are out here scamming naive people. When you go to a jeweler and you ask him to ice it out, what he does is he takes your watch and then he reaches in the garbage, pulls out the diamonds that they weren't going to use anyway because they were bad diamonds, and they shove them in your watch. They take you for a dumb person. In the end, you end up giving him tens of thousands of dollars for trash diamonds. You end up looking like an idiot. Shiny equals expensive. That's what people with iced out watches look like. So when you buy a watch, make sure it is a timepiece that will last generations. Make sure that it will only appreciate. When you buy a watch, you're not necessarily spending your money, you're only parking it. So if I were to have $300,000 in my bank account, I would go and spend $50,000 on a watch. And the reason for that is because you're only FDIC insured up to $250,000 in your bank. Meaning if the bank goes under or on a run, which we've seen a lot in the past couple weeks, you will still get your money back. But that is only up to $250,000. So if I go and spend $50,000 on a watch, that is just me parking my money. And worst case scenario, I end up making some money off the watch. I can wear it anywhere I want, scratch it and beat it up, but it will still hold its value. Now, when you see all these ultra wealthy people buying up art, you think to yourself, what's the point? Now, don't get me wrong, the majority of it is for money laundering. Let's say I had $50 million, for example. I don't want to hold that in a bank account because if the bank goes under, I'll lose all my money. So I find a guy who painted a banana on a white canvas and I pay him $50 million for it, therefore giving my artwork a value of $50 million. Then I go and send it over to a vault in Switzerland and have it sit for years. And if I ever need a little bit of quick cash, I can sell it to somebody who's doing the exact same thing. You need to think like these ultra wealthy people in order to become one. The second biggest money mistake that you can make in your teens is not educating yourself. If you're in the age range between 15 and 25, I highly recommend that you read as much books as you can. There is always more knowledge to consume. Now, when I say books, don't go out and read Charlotte's Web or the Harry Potter series. I'm talking about non-fiction books. There is nothing like that feeling when you get hooked on a non-fiction book. You get this craving and addiction for knowledge. You end up getting Instagram notifications on your phone and you end up throwing your phone across the room because you are so hooked into this one book. The moment that you understand that knowledge is power, that is when your life changes. The third money mistake that you can make in your teens is not prioritizing your health. I have 3 words for you. Health is wealth. And if you are 500 pounds trying to start your entrepreneurship journey, you need to understand the majority of modern day foods are meant to lower your testosterone. The quote, healthy foods that the majority of people are eating cause an unbelievable amount of mind fog. People who shove muffins and Coca-Cola down their throat before they go to bed, and they wonder why they wake up tired. One of the biggest realizations that I've got on getting good sleep is that you need a break from the last meal of your day before you go to bed. What happens inside of your body is if you consume food right before you go to bed, you'll either have a hard time falling asleep or not get the best sleep in general. And there's only one simple answer for that. Because instead of sleeping, your body is actively digesting the food that you just consumed. You are still using up energy. So if you have an absolute feast before you go to bed and you wake up tired, that's because your body spent most of the time you were supposed to be sleeping digesting the food. I mean, let's be real. Think to yourself, you just slept. Why would you wake up tired? It makes no sense to me. And the majority of people don't understand that prioritizing your health is one of the best long-term investments. Eating the most whole and organic foods you can find is the ultimate tool to being absolutely unstoppable. The fourth biggest money mistake that you can make in your teens is not investing. Now, if you're under 18 like me, you're gonna have a hard time putting your money into things like Webull and Robinhood stocks. So when I say invest your money, I mean things like a good gym membership or go to a high-end grocery store or coffee restaurant. A great example from my life is that I switched over from a $30 gym membership to a $300 gym membership. And you may be thinking that it's stupid and I could have just bought the equipment on Amazon, or I could have stayed at the other gym, you know, lifting is lifting. But you need to understand that you need to put yourself in a position where you can network with people who are above you. If you constantly talk to people who are below you, you are never going to get anywhere. If you want to be like these ultra successful guys, you need to surround yourself around them. You need to see how they talk and how they present themselves. So let's say I'm in the steam room and a guy walks in and we spark up a conversation. Then we end up becoming mates and we go out for coffee one day. He could then tell me that he owns an 8-figure business. You know, I was going into my gym the other day and some guy pulls up in a bright green Lamborghini SVJ. He hops out and he goes to the same gym as me. Now, I'm gonna keep myself accountable right here. I probably should have talked to him, but here's what you need to understand. You have to put yourself in a position where you can level up. Life is essentially a video game. If you're on level 5 and you're hanging out with a bunch of level 3s, don't expect to make it to level 6. But if you're level 5 and you're hanging around a bunch of level 10s, you're gonna level up fairly quickly. So like I said before, you need to surround yourself with people who are in the position that you want to be in. And especially don't take advice from people who are not where you want to be in life. So let's say a McDonald's manager gives me some advice, I'm probably not gonna listen to it. But if E-Man Gadget gives me some advice, I'm gonna take it to heart. Now, the 5th and final biggest money mistake that you can make in your teenage years is not surrounding yourself with like-minded people. The best way to put that is you are who you hang around. One great analogy that I like to say all the time is if you're a basketball player and you hang around a bunch of hockey players, you're gonna end up playing hockey once in a while. But if you're a basketball player and you hang around only basketball players, you are going to be an amazing basketball player. So you need to understand that if you're not hanging around people with a similar mindset as you, listen my friend, it is going to be tough. You need to surround yourself with absolute killers. A tribe, your brothers, whatever you want to call it. You just need to surround yourself with people who are a positive influence on your life and will push you to be the best version of yourself. Now stop really quick and take a look at your current friend group. Most likely, if you're watching this, you want to escape the system. Now think about it. Are your friends trying to do the same, or are they playing video games for 10 hours a day? If your answer is number 2, then I have bad news for you, my friend. It is going to be tough making it. You need to surround yourself with people who are like-minded. A great example in my life is that I didn't talk to anybody for 4 or 5 months because I couldn't find the right people to surround myself with until I found the select 2 or 3 that were exactly what I needed. If you want to escape the system, you have to make sacrifices. And if that's cutting off people who are a bad influence in your life, then so be it. You need to understand that that is what separates the winners from the losers. Part of this journey is making sacrifices and choices that you may not want to make, but you need to understand that there are things that you have to do. So when I was in that position, not having anybody to talk to, what I did is that I made a TikTok account that was strictly based on finance. Videos of cool houses and nice cars, and I wasn't trying to sell a course, I was simply trying to find the right people, especially with the right mindset. So what I did when I got 1,000 followers on that account, I linked a Discord in my bio, and there was nothing in the Discord that I wanted to sell. It was strictly for people who were in the exact same boat as I was. So in the course of a month or 2, I managed to get around 500 to 700 people in that Discord server. And I can say it was one of the best decisions I've ever done. Surrounding myself with these people who had a similar mindset to me definitely helped me lock in. So if you're in the position that I was, I have a 100% free Discord server linked in the bio. There's nothing to sell you, there's no course, there's no mentorship. It is strictly a place for young men who want to escape the system. We hold calls, we chat, and I've actually hired a couple people in that Discord server. So who knows, if you're watching this video and you have a skill I need, I might hire you. But moral of the story is you need to surround yourself with positive influences. If you are not doing that and you are not ready to make sacrifices, then expect to be left in the dust. Now, as this video comes to a close, I want to say thank you to everybody who supported me. To my 70 or so subscribers at the moment, my production is, as you can see, worth more than 70 subscribers. The value that I'm dropping in these videos is fantastic, so if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, like, drop a comment for the algorithm. And why not join the Discord? It's free! Thank you for watching, and I expect to see all of you in Dubai with our Lamborghinis in 2 years from now. Peace.